so dumb when I do these, but you know, to be a successful YouTuber, you have to have a clever little intro. Hey jerks, you're back. Anyway, listen, today what we're going to be doing is brake fluid, because I'm going to show you what my brake fluid looks like. This is not what brake fluid should look like. That looks like some really either American coffee or really brutal black tea. And that's not what it should look like. It should probably look more like white tea. Hey, there, okay, finger on the zoom button. So there's a few things that we need to do. Basically what we need to do first is remove what's in here, and to do that I have purchased an artificial inseminator like this. Why is it so zoomed in? Stop doing that. Alright, so artificial inseminator here, and we're just going to go in there and just suck that stuff out and then put it into something. And then I've already taken off the wheel here. What we're going to be doing is going into each one of the 4 wheels here, and this little nipple right, oh god, it's so dark you can't see. This little nipple right here comes off. This is your bleeder valve. This twists to open, and then the brake fluid flows through there, and as soon as it turns from coffee to tea, that's when we realize, that's when we know that all the fluid is through there. So we'll do that for each of the 4 brakes. And while you can do this by yourself, it's a lot easier if you have somebody helping. So once again, you can't see because it's too dark. That's my dad, he's gonna help me. Yeah, so let's get started. First thing we need to do is create a reservoir for it to go in. So what you need is, you need like a Gatorade bottle, something clear, plastic top. Where did I put my hose? Oh, here's my hose. You're gonna need some clear tubing, and I already checked to see that the end of this, yeah, not in focus, that the end of this tube will fit very snugly over the nipple, over the nipple of the bleeder valve. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut a little hole in the top of this, run the tube into it, into the bottom, so that when there's liquid in there, air doesn't come back up into the bleeder valve, because the last thing you want is air in your brake lines. So I'm just going to do that really quick. I'm not even going to show you how to do it. I'm just going to drill a hole in the top of this and run this in there. Period. That's it. I'm white. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get most of this dirty, nasty, ugly brown shit out of here. You just want to pick up a really cheap one of these, because what's going to happen is brake fluid is not good for anything at all, ever. So when you're done with this, it's pretty much a throw it away kind of deal, because it's gonna wreck it. So this is the same bottle that we're using to bleed out the rest of it. Whoops. And probably a good idea to not spill this all over the place. It's gross. So from here on out, for it, how about right there? Good. We're going to take our brake fluid now. This is .4 just because it's the best, and we're going to put it in there. Now, something about brake fluid is you want it to not be in the air as much as possible, because it's some fancy name. There's a fancy word for it that as soon as it touches air, look how clear that is. So this is what good brake fluid looks like, and I'm going to go ahead and keep that as high topped off as I can. I'll just put the lid on. I'm not going to tighten it down, because now we have to go and bleed the brakes. Okay, here's an important part. Pro tip. Figure out what order you're supposed to do it in before. I didn't do this, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down. Do a quick little research and then figure it out, because from what I've read, from what I've seen online, you want to go from the closest to the master cylinder to the furthest away, and that's just to keep the new stuff from not partying too hard with the old stuff as you go through it also. Okay, so we're back, and I think we're about ready to go. The big problem was we needed to find the appropriate tool to turn the bleeder valve, and I believe this is either a 7mm or a 6mm. I don't have a open crescent wrench or closed crescent wrench that's that size. So this is a 5/16. It fits, and because this should not have a lot of tension in it anyway, it's just an on-off like a spigot in your backyard. That's going to work. And the reason why you want this is because you're going to have a tube over the top of this, and it's harder to get to otherwise, but on-off. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and bleed this. My dad is going to sit in the car and pump the brakes when I tell him to, because that's what's going to force the liquid through. We've got our collection jar with the hose below the water level, and I'm going to stick this onto the bleeder nipple. Maybe. Yes. There. Come on. There. It's on good and tight. Yeah, wrench is on. Now we're going to open this with the same old lefty-loosey that I can never remember how to do this way. Come on. There, okay. So the bleeder valve is open. Dad is now going to pump. Look at that brown crap coming out of there. Give it a couple more pumps. Yep, keep going. Keep going. You want to kind of watch your master cylinder. Keep going. Okay, we're going to stop right there for a second. I'm going to add more of this because what looks like it's happened is it has mixed with the rest of the crap that was in there, and it's just still brown. So we'll fill back up. Okay, and go ahead and keep pumping. And you can definitely tell already this is far cleaner. And I think we're going to call that clean. Give it 2 more pumps. Alright, I'm going to close off the bleeder valve. You're going to give it another pump so you get resistance.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Alright, and then we're going to carefully remove this, and I really should be wearing gloves. Now you're going to watch me.
Close it.
Watch me now. Now watch me pull this off and make a mess.
It's not under any pressure.
There. Okay. You're right. It was not under any pressure, so it wasn't going to become a problem. So now we have to drop the car, lift the other side, because front left, front right, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to jump to the other side, do the same thing. Make sure you put your nipple cover, we're going to call this a nipple tassel, back on your nipple, because you don't want crap getting in there. Alright, so we'll see you in a minute. We're opening the valve. There, oh, valve is open. And we're going to pump the brakes. Look at that brown crap coming out of there. Gross. I'm keeping an eye on the master cylinder level. And I think 1 more pump. And we're good. Alright, lock that down. Good. Hose comes off. Drip it all over the place because you're a jackass. Nipple tassel back on. Whoops. Wrench off first. What?
You didn't say you tightened the valve.
I did. I've tightened it, yeah.
And
Alright.
pressure.
Good. Next wheel. Ripping it off. There we go. A little wrench on there. Stick this on. Huh? Let's pump it. Oh yeah. Alright, 1 more pump. 1 more pump. You got the resistance?
Yeah.
Good. Alright, and on to the next. Alright, last wheel. And he's pumping away. There, okay. Wrench off, nipple on. Alright, and so we'll just put the wheel on there at the end, and then that'll be it. And then
It's 5/16 OD.
5/16. Okay, so
OD
5/16.
3/16 ID.
Oh,
It's
3/16.
inside diameter, outside diameter.
I don't know what that all
You
means.
need the ID. You need at least.
I need an inside diameter of
Because you're
3/16.
putting this over a nipple. Yes,
Yeah.
you need the 3/16 inside diameter.
Correct. All right, and then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to fill this up to kind of where it was. Now, something I forgot to do, but I kind of have done before, is that generally speaking, if you do this, your brake master cylinder is probably going to be filthy, sort of like what it looks like right there. But anyway, you will want to kind of clean this off before you even start the project. Now, I had already done this because I had done a lot of things to this before I started, but you want to clean this off because every time you open this up, you don't want any crap falling into it, because that's just going to make the fluid bad and all that good stuff. So I don't know if you can see this, but there's a minimum and a maximum. I'm going to leave it just the way it is. You don't want to overfill this. That's a really bad idea, because if this fluid doesn't go anywhere, you should never have to refill this fluid. If you do, that means you have a leak somewhere. Bad idea, and keep an eye on it. But you should never ever have to put more fluid in here. But if you leave it all the way at the top, and then you go to change your brake pads like we did many episodes ago, and you compress that piston in, what you're going to do is you're going to shove more fluid in here, and because it's got nowhere to go, this is an airtight seal. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to make whatever weaknesses in the piston happen. And if you remember, that actually happened to me on one of the brakes where I pushed the piston in and the brake fluid fell out of it, and that's because I didn't crack open this master cylinder when I was doing it. So everybody learned something. So that's the job. Brand new, very clean brake fluid in there. I'm feeling pretty happy about that. So it's not coffee anymore. Now it's more like a very light tea. This has been, I have no idea what I'm doing. My dad taught me everything I know. I'll catch you next time.